to another episode of Game Time. I'm JP Murrieta, and this week we're at Cueva High School, home of the Bears, and we're here with head football coach Brandon Back. Thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Let's dive right into it. You're playing in the state final once again this year. You picked up a semifinal win against Centennial last week. What did you like about your team's performance in that game?
Just the grit and the fight. You know, it was an up and down game, just like every semifinal is, and we expected a long, hard-fought game. We did a lot of things right. They did a lot of things right, and it came down to the last play. We had talked about it at halftime, being able to be locked in for all four quarters, and the boys did exactly what they needed to do to get the win at the end.
I'll say locked in offensively. Gabriel Bowie, 4 touchdowns, over 200 yards rushing. How have you seen him develop this year?
Well, health has been the number one thing. He's ran into some injuries, unfortunately, but he's got great skill. We got a two-headed monster back there in our running backs with him and Mayu. And then it's really the unsung hero of the whole thing is our offensive line. They continue to do the right thing, put in extra work each morning, and get themselves in the right spot. And without those 5 guys up front, I don't care who's running the ball, you wouldn't be as successful. And he knows that. All of our kids know how hard our offensive linemen work, and we're excited about what they've done. And they've gotten us to this point, and now we're excited to take this shot.
You take on this shot against Cleveland, the only team to beat you this year. You get a rematch with them. How do you match up with the Storm?
I feel like we match up pretty well with them. You know, they might be a little bit bigger than us in certain spots, but I think we're explosive on offense. We're tenacious on defense, and we're just excited about the opportunity to play in another state championship.
And it's a rematch with them from week 2 game that you guys played early in the season. How are both of you guys different than you were in the second week of the season?
We better be different, and I think both of us are. And week 2, that's a whole other season ago, and so there's not a lot of focus on what went right or wrong in that game. It's about what's gone right or wrong in the last couple weeks. Each team that has gotten to this point has to develop, has to continue to mature. Our kids have done that on both sides of the ball. I know their kids have done that. So it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be 4 full quarters of football, and we're excited to be in that championship game and to get another shot at it.
Your quarterback, Aiden Armendez, had a fantastic season. How would you rate his performance and in the history of quarterbacks who have come through Cueva?
Oh, that's easy. It's one of the best. There's a good chance he ends up with 4,000 yards passing this year. And it goes to the work he's put in. I remember him as a young middle schooler coming in the mornings and putting in some extra time with our quarterback coach and maturing and waiting his time during the COVID crap and getting his opportunity as a junior to start, and just made each week he's gotten better and better and better and better. He's one of the most prolific passers I've ever been around in the state, best quarterback in the state. I don't even think that's a question. And it's just been a blessing to be with him. And then you look at all the receivers that he has and the kids he can get the ball to, and just the unselfishness we have at that position. It makes us successful, and that's why we're here today.
We're bundled up here today because you had a 7 a.m. workout. What's the theory behind working out early in the morning?
We're a morning team. We practice in the morning 6 a.m. throughout the season, so this is just normal for us. Actually, we get to sleep in an extra hour, so everybody's kind of excited. So it's just something we've done. We've kind of hung our hat on. It gives us an opportunity to get some really great coaches to come out early in the morning and help us, gets the boys moving and shaking before school starts, so everybody's ready to go. And we've found that it really works well for us, and the kids have bought into it, and everybody moves through it, and it's been exciting. It's kind of funny when we practice in the afternoon in the heat of August. Everybody's like, "This is dumb. This is too hot. It's sweating. It's not fun." So what we do is we're a morning team all year long through the summer, and it's not a big deal to us to be out here.
Well, morning team, but you'll be playing an afternoon game on Saturday. Lastly, what has to happen for Cueva to lift that blue trophy at the end of the day?
We got to minimize mistakes. We got to get some breaks to go our way, but it's really just minimizing mistakes. Make sure we're gap sound on defense. Make sure everybody understands their responsibility on offense. And when you get the opportunity to make a play, you got to take advantage of it. It's a great game. We told the boys, the game is the same. It's the same number of quarters, the same number of athletes, same number of officials. The celebration's a lot more exciting, but the game is the same. So our focus has been the same this whole week, and I know that the kids are going to work hard all week long.
Well, maybe you and the guys will be celebrating on Saturday. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Good luck, gentlemen. Thank you. We'll be back with more Game Time after this. Are you living the life of an athlete? The New Mexico Activities Association brings you Life of an Athlete, a resource for students, educators, and parents to understand the challenges students face. Athletes, one night of drinking will negatively affect your athletic performance for 2 weeks, and athletes who drink or do drugs are twice as likely to get injured. Alcohol's effects can reduce a high school athlete's potential by as much as 20 to 30%. Are you living the life of an athlete? Log on to the website to find out today.
Hi, I'm Gabriel Bowie from La Cueva. Welcome back to Game Time.
The La Cueva Bears are in the state final against defending state champ Cleveland this coming Saturday. Here's a look at the other championship matchups and a look back at the 2A final, which was decided last Friday. In Class 6A, the Cleveland Storm punched their ticket to the state final for the second year in a row with a 47-24 semifinal win over district rival Volcano Vista. The Storm broke this one open in the second half. Josh Perry rushed for 291 yards and 5 touchdowns in the win. Cleveland will play La Cueva for the title on Saturday at Wilson Stadium in Albuquerque at 1 p.m. It's a rematch of the 2018 final and a rematch of their Week 2 game. In Class 5A, Artesia jumped out to a 22-0 lead in the first half against Deming and beat the Wildcats 49-12 to advance to the final for the 6th time since 2014. Artesia has won 30 state titles overall. In the other semifinal, Piedra Vista avenged their only loss of the year to Roswell and shut down the Coyotes 13-7. The Panthers advanced to the final for just the second time in school history. So, it'll be Artesia against Piedra Vista up in Farmington Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. The Class 4A state title will go to Silver or Bloomfield. Silver shut down Lovington in a 23-7 semifinal game last weekend. Silver was up by as many as 20 at one point. Bloomfield beat Taos 45-13 in a game where quarterback Ryan Sharp threw 3 touchdowns and ran for another. The Class 4A title game will take place at Bloomfield Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Silver handed Bloomfield their only loss of the year, 45-6 in early October. The 3A title game is between Ruidoso and St. Michael's. The Horsemen went on the road to take down previously unbeaten Socorro. St. Michael's scored in the final 2.5 minutes to get the 14-6 semifinal win. Ruidoso also went on the road to Raton and scored the go-ahead touchdown with just over 3 minutes left to beat the Tigers 21-20 and advance to a state final for the second straight season. The 3A final will be held in Santa Fe Saturday at 1. The 2A trophy was handed out last Friday. Jal took on Texaco for the title, and the Panthers controlled the pace from the start. Alex Xavier Carrion racked up 226 yards and 4 touchdowns as the Panthers wrapped up a perfect 13-0 season with a 41-21 win. It's their first state championship since 1999.
Hi, I'm Aiden Armenta from La Cueva High School, and we'll be back with more Game Time after this.
We wanted to take this opportunity to remind you, if you haven't already, make sure to download the NMAA 24/7 app. It's free, and free is cheap. Chances are likely you have a phone in your possession right now, so go to the App Store or Google Play and download the free NMAA 24/7 app. It's the best place to find schedules, scores, highlights, and follow your school all year. And here's the best part, we will have giveaways all throughout the year. You will be registered to win just by downloading the app and signing up. We will have prizes from Dick's Sporting Goods, Dion, Sonic, tournament pass giveaways, free tickets, and much more. You like free stuff? Then download the NMAA 24/7 app. The best place to find tournament brackets? The NMAA 24/7 app. The easiest way to find out when your team is playing next? The NMAA 24/7 app. Where can you go to find out the final score you're looking for? The NMAA 24/7 app. It's all in one place, the NMAA 24/7 app. So go to the App Store or Google Play and download the free NMAA 24/7 app.
Last year, we had to change so many games. We had to, you probably got frustrated because you thought you were going to play on a Tuesday, and then we did not have officials, so we had to move the game to Thursday, and football now is on a Thursday and not on a Friday and Saturday. Well, that is all due to not having enough officials because of the bad behavior that is going on within our games. And that's parents included and spectators.
It's everybody's responsibility. We all talk about, is it the coaches, is it the administrators, is it the community member? It's got to be all of us doing it together, because if we all do it together, then it's a lot easier to solve the problem.
Treat people the way you want to be treated. Do you really want someone to yell at you? Do you want someone to sit there and yell at a kid or whatever? If that was your kid, would you want someone yelling at them? No, you wouldn't. I mean, so to me, treat people the way you want to be treated. Act the way you think people should behave. And I think we should all be golden.
Set the example. Set the example for everybody around you.
Winning is fun. Winning is rewarding. Winning is an important goal. But the number one reason kids take part in athletics and activities is to have fun. Don't ruin their experience with inappropriate language. Negative behavior can be embarrassing to your student. Know your role. Your role is to support your student in a positive manner, not to coach, not to referee, but if you're interested in officiating, we can direct you on how to become an official. Call me after this video and I'll be happy to set you up. The way parents behave in the stands has a big influence on how their child enjoys their experience. Let's compete with respect, integrity, and responsibility.
We are going to have an administrator at every single contest to make sure that our parents, that our fans, that our coaches, our athletes are behaving appropriately. And we go back and realizing why we play high school sports. And that is for the friendships, for the love of the game, and to learn lifelong skills.
Welcome back to Game Time from La Cueva High School for the State Football Championship Preview Show. You know, it seems like every year at this time we have fans that ask the question, why isn't there a centralized state football championship like there is for all the other sports? Why do the better seeds have to go on the road for the title game? Well, to answer that question, here is NMAA Associate Director Dusty Young. Dusty, this coming weekend, top seeds, Cleveland, Artesia, and Silver, all have to go on the road for their title games, and Ruidoso, a 2 seed, has to travel to St. Michael's, a 4 seed. Why is that?
It's strictly due to the bylaws and rules and regulations our member schools have implemented for the sport of football as it pertains to state tournament hosts for the playoffs. They do get to host as the higher seed in the first round and the quarterfinals. However, in the semis and finals, we use what's called past history. Past history is defined as any semifinal or final round matchup dating all the way back to 1953.
Has the NMAA ever considered a centralized state championship in football like they have in every other sport?
So yes, we have discussed that quite extensively with our member schools, our coaches, our athletic directors, and our superintendents. We've talked about a centralized championship or even neutral sites for those playoff games. However, right now, all of our schools, or the majority of our schools, I should say, still want to use that past history format.
There were some fans this year asking why this week's Cleveland-La Cueva game wasn't moved to University Stadium. Was that even an option?
So that option would be determined by La Cueva High School. They have earned the right to host this state championship game based on our past history bylaws. Similar to the way that Cleveland High School had the option last year to host and of course chose to use their own stadium. La Cueva chose Wilson Stadium. That's the facility they used during the regular season and the stadium they're using here for the state championship.
What do the coaches and member schools want? Do you see the current system ever changing?
So it's been a topic of discussion pretty much every year for the last 10 years, whether we centralize, use neutral sites, higher seed, and our schools are really split on the issue, to be honest. I think more schools are wanting to look at the centralized location or neutral locations. However, the majority of our schools, and that's coaches, athletic directors, superintendents, they still want to use that past history format.
I hope that explains the home field situation for playoff football. Good luck to all the teams competing this week. That's going to do it for another episode of Game Time. Happy Thanksgiving week to everyone out there, and good luck to all the teams competing at the Nusenda Credit Union State Football Championships. We'll see you next time on Game Time.